3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force it off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at him.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh,
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Talladega Superspeedway for today's Sunoco Racing League ARCA Series race. I'm your host, Bounty, and after what has been a very long day for everybody involved, we are finally about to go racing. Mother Nature has had different plans for us earlier today. Following qualifying, we had a severe weather event which forced league officials to place the race on hold until after the rain delay. Drivers, teams, and fans have all been patiently waiting, and now skies have almost fully cleared up. The track is dry, and we are ready to go racing for 60 laps around the biggest and fastest oval in all of sim racing. The good news, we're racing. The bad news, these drivers has had 4 extra hours to think about what could happen in the draft today at Talladega Superspeedway. As we get everybody up and going here is today's starting lineup. We have Brian Klingman, a new driver to the Sunoco Racing Series. This is his very first race and his first pole of the season. Terry Hughes Jr. will be starting in second. Tony Swain will be starting in third. Thomas McLaughlin will be starting in fourth. Jack Garrity in fifth. Kevin Tankos from Rush Motorsports will be in fourth. Chris Knighty will be in seventh. Gage Hunt will be in eighth. Nicholas Griffey will be in ninth. Ty Robertson in 10th. Jerry Powers, a name that y'all heard from last week. He has taken on into the Sunoco Racing League, and we'll be seeing his name more often here. Mickey Sonadero is back after a week off. He'll be starting in P12. Jonathan Smith will be starting in 13th. Aaron Birch, another newcomer here with his first race at Talladega Superspeedway, is starting in 14th, and Hunter Foley back in 15th. As these guys just fired their engines up and they are ready to roll off of pit road. As we get to looking at things here today, we're at 2.66 miles. The air is at 95 degrees. This track has no rubber on it after the rain delay. We have a choose cone, 3 sets of tires, and 1 fast repair for these guys. And it looks like Terry Hughes Jr. and Thomas McLaughlin will not make the start here today due to some starter issues there after the rain delay, and Trent Hughes is also having some engine issues after the rain. So his car is in the garage, and the other 2 are sitting down on pit road right now. It sounds like they've got them ready to go, just waiting here to go green. One wrong move here with these guys can cause the big one here at this track. And hopefully we don't see too much of that here tonight or this afternoon, as we have some, I just saw we had this still up on the screen. I am so sorry about that. And these drivers right now are really anxious and restless, and they're ready to get this thing underway here. As everyone is starting to round out turn 3 here behind the pace car. As a pace car is probably going to take a left here on the pace road, onto the pit road as we're getting ready to go green here. Brian Kilman with his first start here. Let's see how he's able to manage handling in first place here. The very beginning as we're getting ready to go down into the tri-oval, into the restart zone, and they are off. Green flag. Let's go racing, boys. As Kevin Tankos and Brian Kilman get out to a big jump here. Heading into turn 1, they all single file out. Kevin Tankos falling in line as he jumps to the high side around, and he has Gage Hunt right behind him as these two are just going to take the high side and get right around that 91. And they have some help from Ty Robertson and Chris Noddy on that high side as they are all clear and going to single file it out here early. Back here in the back, you see Jonathan Smith is off the pace. Hunter Foley also off the pace. Terry Hughes Jr. and Thomas McLaughlin are both back here in the back from starting from pit road. Glad to see those cars finally back on the track. We jump back up here to our leaders. Gage Hunt looked like he might have tried to make a move, and he ends up falling back there on that high side, but he does have some help from Nicholas Griffey, a guy we don't really see a whole lot of, but he is here tonight. He looks to take it 3 wide. As you see, Aaron Birch, the first time race here tonight, he takes it 3 wide underneath the 24 and sticks it behind the 1 of Gage Hunt. As you see, Kevin Tankos, Ty Robertson, and Chris Noddy just riding it out on this bottom side with a big push from Ty Robertson to Kevin Tankos there. Still locked bumpers down the backstretch. They don't want that outside line to get around them, because if they do, these guys are going to lose spots, and they're going to have to manage their fuel a little bit more, especially if they want to get that lead back. As Gage Hunt rockets to the front on the outside line with a big push from Aaron Birch. He jumps down in front of Kevin Tankos. As we're seeing here early, the outside line definitely has the speed to get to the front. But when you're on the inside line in the draft, you're saving way more fuel. And from what I'm being told, is these guys only have 12 to 16 laps worth of fuel here tonight. As we go back here to the back again, it looks like these guys and Jonathan Smith, Hunter Foley, Terry Hughes Jr., and Thomas McLaughlin have all single filed out, and they are trying to catch the leaders. 4 cars in a pack is normally what you want, but you have 2 Fords and 2 Chevrolets here, And they're really not going to start catching anybody unless Jonathan gets a push from his teammate of Hunter Foley. And today, all you really need is patience. With 60 laps, everyone wants to go to the front quickly, as you see right now. But Talladega has its way of pushing everyone's patience. And it's just gonna... Some guys are just gonna sit here and get frustrated. Like when you had the top sideline, they were up there. And then everyone dropped to the bottom. Now there's only 3 guys on the outside. But then you have the guys on the inside just starting to pull away. Because the top side cannot get put together. As you see, Jack Garrity really off the pace here early. Not too sure what's going on with that 40 car. Might have a misfire. And it pulled him out of the draft. As we jump back up here to the front, Gage Hunt still leading this thing on the inside line. And that side draft from the 97 of Aaron Birch there has started to get them up towards the front. When you side draft, it's really slowing the car beside you down and giving you a run past them. And if you don't do it correctly, it can slow you down as well. As Gage Hunt tries to move him up the track a little bit there, going into 3. He said, I don't want your side draft going into 3. Get out of here. But Aaron Birch gets a real big run out of 4. And Aaron Birch is going to lead his first laps at Talladega. As you see there, Nicholas Griffey getting a little out of line there. It's going to shake that topside line up. They can't maintain that speed with just 2 cars. He's going to have to close that gap back to the 46 of Jerry Powers so they can keep that momentum going. And as you really see the gap on the bottom side here between Ty and Chris Knighty, it looks like they're trying to save some fuel in between those cars just with a bubble draft. You don't have to be right up on the guy in front of you. As Aaron Birch does a little side draft there, jumps it high so he can see if he can keep that run away from Gage Hunt there on that bottom side so he doesn't side draft him back and pull him backwards. And early here, we already have somebody out of Brian, the 91 of Brian Kleem, however you say his name, is already out of the race here tonight. Not too sure if he had some engine troubles there. We'll have to catch up with him after the race. As that top sideline dissipates, Gage Hunt is still leading it on that bottom side. Now that if you're leading almost every single lap, you are not saving any fuel here. Especially with only 12 to 16 laps of fuel. Gage Hunt is using every bit of it right now. He is going to have to pit sooner than anyone else has to, and he's going to have a longer pit stop. Let's see if the guys behind him will come down with him when he needs to come. Back here in the back, I'm really starting to see Jonathan Smith, Hunter Foley, Terry Hughes Jr. as Gage Hunt makes his first pit stop by himself here. Only 10 laps into the race, coming to 11. This is really going to hurt Gage Hunt here in the long run, pitting by himself, as Kevin Takos takes over the lead here. And then back here to the back, like I was saying, we have 5 cars back here to Thomas McLaughlin, Terry Hughes Jr., Jack Garrity, Hunter Foley, and Jonathan Smith. They have really started to catch the lead pack. They were all side by side, and these guys started reeling them in. Jump back up here to your leader, Kevin Tankos, as they bring it down for the first pit stops of the night for the Chevrolets, as the guys in the back bring it down as well. Terry Hughes Jr. down here on the inside. It looked like he might have been speeding on that entry there. We'll have to see. Yes, Terry Hughes Jr. has been called for speeding on pit road. That's really going to hurt the 81 of Terry Hughes Jr. here early, along with his counterpart of Gage Hunt. Both of them in a deficit here early in the race. As you see, Chris Knighty and Mickey Sanadero leading this pack of 4 around as Chris Knighty comes down, Mickey Sanadero comes down, Tony Swain, and Nicholas Griffey. As Nicholas Griffey gets loose entering pit road there, that's going to cost him a lot of time. Tough break for Nicholas Griffey there early. Hopefully he can get a good pit stop in here so that doesn't affect him in the long run. As Kevin Tankos, Ty Robertson are out front here together again. Ty Robertson is not getting off the back bumper of that 4 car, as Jerry Powers and Gage Hunt are back here. Gage Hunt not really trying to help the 46 of Jerry Powers. Gets right around him. So this really didn't hurt Gage Hunt as bad as we thought. But you have Kevin Tankos and Ty Robertson got the draft of everyone in front of them. They're going to come around Chris Knighty. Is Chris Knighty going to try to block the leaders here? He is not. He's going to keep it on the bottom as the leaders try to go around. So that's going to give Mickey Sanadero the lead. He's got the draft of the 81 of Terry Hughes Jr., who is now almost a lap down. If he can keep it out in front of the leaders, and hopefully a caution comes out for the 81. Mickey Sanadero puts a bumper to the 81 there going into 1. The 81 being up front of your leaders here is just going to help them be able to save fuel for the long run. But you know, Mickey Sanadero and Chris Knighty already have at least one more lap of fuel than the 4 and the 9 of Kevin Tankos and Ty Robertson here. We don't get to talk much about sponsorships, but Terry Hughes Jr. has made a new sponsorship sign on with WeatherTech and Red Bull. So him and his teammate of Thomas McLaughlin both have Red Bull and WeatherTech on their cars for the rest of the season. Some beautiful paint schemes coming out of these shops. And speaking of beautiful paint schemes, Jonathan Smith and Nap Daddy Racing. If you want your own design put onto a race car, they can give it to you. Just let them know that the Sunoco Racing League sent you. He might give you something, he might not. But we're going to try our best to give you what this man gives out to everybody. He puts his heart and soul into painting cars and racing. So we jump back up here to your leader of Mickey Sonadero. Getting some laps led here. Mickey hasn't really led any laps, if I'm not mistaken, since our first race of the season in Chicagoland, where he led 20 laps from pitting early and undercutting the leaders. And speaking of, why don't we go ahead and drop down to our first Fast and Loud of the night. As we jump back up in here, you see this second group really starting to swap out here. Through like y'all were too slow. The lead guys now in Jonathan Smith, Thomas McLaughlin, Jerry Powers said the guys in front of them were way too slow. They wanted to get around them so they could really start catching your leaders here. And the gap to these guys has really started to shrink. It is down to 3 seconds. As you see, once again, here comes Gage Hunt by himself, short on fuel as he gets a little loose in the ass. They're coming on the pit road, trying not to speed, but he's yet again by himself coming on the pit road. We're only lap 23 of 60. We have an extra in the tank if we need them. You see Jerry Powers back there getting a little loose. This second pack has really started closing the gap. They are down to 1.8 seconds. As they break off and come down pit road. So that means the guys up front have really been saving fuel as this second group comes down. So let's see if these guys in the second group stretch this out for a couple more laps or they come right now. They're coming in right now, just behind the second group. See if Terry Hughes Jr. can finally get it together here. As he almost gets ran over by Mickey Sonadero entering pit road there. Terry Hughes Jr. stuck down on pit road. He told him he didn't want any tires, and they gave them to him anyway. Terry Hughes Jr. with a slow pit stop, and he's going to lose the group in front of him that he has been riding with. Terry Hughes Jr. is going to ride the first car a lap down currently. As you see Jonathan Smith, Jerry Powers, they are coming up to the leaders coming off of pit road right now. So this right here, as Hunter Foley tries to block. That was going to really slow down the guys back here trying to catch the leaders. Chris Noddy not able to keep up with his group either. He has lost the draft to 1, 2, and 3. So this should end up being a 5-car pack, catching the 3 leaders. Hunter Foley now goes a lap down. He is registered a lap down in front of Terry Hughes Jr., who is way back here just pushing the 40, trying anything in his power to get back up there and get in front of that 6 car. As we jump back up here, you see the 3 cars out front. Ty Robertson, Kevin Tinkos, Mickey Sonadero. But behind them, you have Thomas McLaughlin, Jonathan Smith, Jerry Powers, Chris Knighty at the tail end of that, and Hunter Foley in that pack as well. They are going to catch these leaders like it's going to be nobody's business. As Thomas McLaughlin's doing 184 miles an hour, 185, compared to the leader of Ty Robertson only doing 182. They're going to catch these guys rather quick here. As Thomas McLaughlin's probably 190 miles an hour going into turn 3, leading the second pack. As he has the draft of Mickey Sonadero, they're going to jump up high to catch the draft off of him. As that draft really starts to separate this second group as they dive to the bottom. Thomas McLaughlin with a major run here. 3 wide. Ty Robertson just lets them by. They were way faster than him out here by himself. Really no pushing help. They should just fall into the end of this line here, or they might fight it out on the top. Thomas McLaughlin, Jonathan Smith. A 2-car breakaway as of right now. This could be dangerous waters for the 2 leaders, as it can help the guys behind them get a real good draft and absolutely pull around them. And that second pack back here behind Mickey Sonadero really gets single filed out. They're going to start catching the 2 leaders here rather quickly. Or I say rather quickly as they start putting a second gap on these guys. You haven't seen a 2-car breakaway like this since the beginning, or since they did away with the COT. These guys have broken away to a 1.3 second lead over the second pack. And it is still growing. Almost a 2-second is a 2-second gap between the 3rd place driver of Chris Knighty and Jonathan Smith. The 2 leaders have absolutely driven away. But you really got to think, where does this put them in terms of their fuel strategy in the long run? As you see Hunter Foley and Nicholas Griffey back here in the back, fighting it out for the first car lap down. This has really started to open the door for Terry Hughes Jr., pushing that 40 car of Jack Garrity up to the leaders. They went from a 10-second gap down to a 4. But the guys behind them of Tony Swain, Aaron Birch, and I believe that is Gage Hunt back there in the back, They have started closing the gap to the guys in front of them. So we jump back up here. The gap has really started to close on your leaders here. Thomas McLaughlin, Jonathan Smith. Their lead has absolutely dissipated with Chris Knighty leading that second pack. The three Chevrolets that have been up front all afternoon have brought it back to your leaders. As Chris Knighty, looking low, thought he might have a hole beneath Jonathan Smith to move him up the track. Chris Knighty decides to just hang out behind Jonathan Smith here. He knows they're going to pit here relatively soon, with them leading this field wide open by themselves with no extra help. So here's the real question. Do the two leaders of Thomas McLaughlin and Jonathan Smith have anybody behind them that will pit with them? As you see back here, Mickey Sonadero and Jack Garrity have really fallen off the pace. They have lost the draft to the guys in front. As you see, Jack Garrity really starting to lead this second or third pack back here as they are 5 deep. They're going to catch Mickey Sonadero and Nicholas Griffey here relatively quick, especially with that 81 pushing the ever-loving shit out of that 40 car. As you jump back up here to your leaders of Thomas McLaughlin and Jonathan Smith still leading, you have to wonder how their fuel is doing this deep into the run. See Ty Robertson really starting to fall back off here. He is saving as much fuel as possible. Let's go ahead and hop on board with Ty Robertson and ride with him here for a couple of laps. Smooth input on the steering wheel, smooth on the throttle as you have two guys breaking it off. Your two leaders, Jonathan Smith and Thomas McLaughlin, coming in, and it looks like Hunter Foley as well coming with your two leaders. Hunter Foley a lap down, Terry Hughes Jr. bringing it down, Gage Hunt, Jack Garrity bringing it down with the two leaders as well. You see Jonathan Smith on and off pit road. Terry Hughes Jr. still out here actually. He did not come down at all. This big of a gap between these guys. It leaves Jonathan Smith and Thomas McLaughlin out here by themselves yet again. As your leaders of Kevin Tankos, Chris Knighty, Ty Robertson, Jerry Powers, Mickey Sonadero, Aaron Birch, Terry Hughes Jr., Tony Swain, all decide to come down now together as a pack. Terry Hughes Jr. has had some issues here during these pit cycles. Does Terry Hughes Jr. get on and off pit road the way he needs to this go around? It's looking relatively long, but he is on and off pit road. Your leader right now is still Chris Knighty with 28 laps to go. We'll be just past our halfway point here, and everyone is spread out. As you see, the two guys, Jonathan Smith and Thomas McLaughlin, by themselves, coming around your leaders yet again. Them two pitting by themselves, coming off by themselves. They have still come out ahead of your leaders. During that pit cycle, Terry Hughes Jr. has once again become the first car a lap down. So if anything is to happen, Terry Hughes Jr. will get his lap back. And they are not too far behind your leaders. But you look back here, in 13th position, with no help, is Hunter Foley in this beautiful 6 Nap Daddy racing machine with just absolutely zero help right now. So back up here to the lead of Jonathan Smith, just out here with his all-race partner, Thomas McLaughlin. These two have ridden together, they have pitted together, and they have pushed and shoved each other around this track. Let's see if this holds out for the rest of the race. Or does Jonathan Smith elect to go with a Chevy over a Ford? Or does Thomas McLaughlin decide to go with a Ford over a Chevy? They also have teammates inside of this race. Jonathan Smith has an alliance with Fury Cam Racing, which would be Ty Robertson and Mickey Sonadero in the race right now. Thomas McLaughlin has 2 drivers inside of this as well. The owner-driver of Terry Hughes Jr. and Gage Hunt. Terry Hughes Jr. being a lap down, he could just push the 69 to the win. Gage Hunt might end up fighting for the win with that 69 if it come down to it. But Gage Hunt, still relatively new in the NASCAR scene here. This is only his 5th race ever. Well, 4th race ever. He missed last week at Kansas with a concussion. But he is out here this week absolutely just trying to get around everybody. He had an uh-oh time earlier in the race where he came down and no one came with him. It sounded like over the radio he had guys that were going to come with him, but they just left him high and dry. As we jump back up here to your leaders, they are still single filed out here. Jonathan Smith still running that bottom line, leading it. The 69 in tow. The guys behind your 2 leaders right now, Chris Knighty, Ty Robertson, Jerry Powers, and Kevin Tankos, they are all saving more fuel than your 2 leaders. Go ahead down here while we are running this green flag run, which is relatively a long one. Let's get to talking about some of our drivers here. Jonathan Smith, a multi-championship runner in multiple different leagues. He has 1 championship that we know about in MRL, which is the Madness Racing League, and their Cup Series. He is racing part-time here in the Sunoco Racing League, so he doesn't steal any points from the guys that are here racing for a championship. He's a fair guy. He knows he's way better than most of these guys on a lot of these tracks. He wants everyone to have a fair shot at winning a championship. Jump back here to Thomas McLaughlin. Thomas McLaughlin never won a league race ever. No matter the league, no matter what track, he has yet to win. As you see Jonathan Smith pull out of line and fall back here. Looks like he's going to try to save some fuel. We jump back here to Chris Knighty. Chris Knighty, another one that has ran multiple different leagues and still yet to have a single win, as these two have led most of your laps here tonight between Thomas McLaughlin and Chris Knighty. Jump back here to Ty Robertson, a multi-league winner, almost Cup Series driver, and a multi-time champion in multiple leagues, is back here running in third. He knows how to get it done, whether it's saving fuel or just driving the absolute shit out of a car to win it. He is another part-time driver, so he's not stealing championship points away from the guys that really need it. Jerry Powers back here sitting in the 4th position. Jerry, multi-league guy and multi-race winner. He can do it all when it comes to multiple different tracks. Not sure if he has won a championship, but we know he can win races. Back here to Kevin Tankos, the owner of Rush Motorsports. This guy can get it done. He has won championships. He has won races. He does not care how it goes. He is up there with the rest of these guys who knows how to drive a car, save fuel, and save gas. Jump back here to Mickey Sanadero. Don't know much about him, to be honest, but this is his first season in the Sunoco Racing League. He has found different ways and different opportunities to get the job done and be up front, but it comes to the very end of the race where he can't complete the job. If he ever gets it put together, we're going to see him in victory lane multiple times. Jump back here to Jack Garrity. Once again, another new driver to the not Madness Racing League, to the Sunoco Racing League. It's right there in front of my face. Why can I not just say it? Jack Garrity has fast cars every week, just can't put it together on the long runs. Here tonight, just kind of fell off early, but he's still sitting in 8th right now, which is not bad if a caution flag comes out. It seems like he's just trying to get around the track and be there for the end. Then you jump back here to Gage Hunt, the newcomer. The 4 only races in NASCAR have come in these cars. He knows how to race. He's done it in sports car. But coming to oval, it is a completely different beast. He has got lessons learned from Terry Hughes Jr., Thomas McLaughlin, Ty Robertson, Chris Knighty, Kevin Tankos, Jonathan Smith, you name it. They have all helped this man out, and they are all looking like they're going to come down to pit road. But is Gage Hunt going to speed on pit road? Looking like he got it done with a spin back here between Hunter Foley and Jack Garrity as they both get it gathered back up and come down pit road. That's going to put them pretty far back here. But we jump over here to Terry Hughes Jr. He has had opportunities after opportunities after opportunities to win championships. He just can't put it together at the end. But they have never had a chase format for him to run. As they bring it down to pit road, they have always had the elimination rounds and the playoff series. Terry Hughes has led multiple different seasons being in first place in points, but when it comes down to the playoff system, he gets knocked out every time before he can get to the championship or have the championship run in his favor. Always getting caught up into something here. But he is your current points leader coming into today's race. Being a lap down in 13th is not helping him at all. Your closest guy to him right now is Thomas McLaughlin. Thomas McLaughlin might end up stealing the points lead from Terry Hughes Jr. here tonight if everything keeps going the way it's going. As we jump down here, we haven't talked about Aaron Birch at all, who is still on track. A newcomer, his first race in the Sunoco Racing League. He has not had a bad race at all. It had some hiccups here and there, but he's still in the top 10. You jump back here to Nick Griffey. He doesn't have much time to race, but when he's racing, boy. He is out here in your 11th position right now. Putting that Case Tractor Chevrolet on display here tonight. He is trying to learn everything he can from these guys so he can be competitive. He's had fast cars, he just has some mess ups here and there that has cost him top 10s. But he's coming down pit road right now as we watch him bring it down. Let's see how he does. Little slow on entry, he definitely could do better there. But not bad at all bringing it down. Keeping penalties out of it is going to help him in the long run. Because Terry Hughes Jr., who just now takes over that 10th place position behind Mickey Sonadero, has had nothing but issues here tonight with pit stops. A veteran, but still having his work cut out for him. As they sit here and pick up Thomas McLaughlin with a huge bump from Mickey Sonadero there. Let's get back here and talk about Tony Swain and this beautiful Valvoline number 7. Another newcomer to the Sunoco Racing Series this season. He has kept it clean most of the races, but he has gotten caught up in some wrecks, which has put him behind in points. If I'm not mistaken, he is currently within, above the cut line for the chase. And then Brian Kilman, we have not talked about him at all tonight, really, because he is not here. Had some engine trouble early after taking the lead, or taking the pole position, waiting it out due to the rain, gets back onto the track, and after 5 laps, ends up bringing it down because he blew the motor. Sounds like the same thing that happened to Trent Hughes here tonight, with having water somehow or another getting in that fuel system and absolutely ruining that motor. As you see your 2 leaders right now, Jerry Powers and Ty Robertson, have really put some distance between Thomas McLaughlin back here with Mickey Sonadero and his teammate Terry Hughes Jr. They're just trying to ride it out to the end. Thomas McLaughlin currently registered in the 6th position. This right now puts him ahead of Terry Hughes Jr. with all the bonus points he has got tonight. This will give Thomas McLaughlin the points lead unless something happens. Jump up here to Gage Hunt. Gage Hunt out here just riding behind the 6 of Hunter Foley. These two are your newest guys in iRacing, if I'm not mistaken. But Gage Hunt being the youngest of the entire group. So these two are just trying to ride it out and pray for a caution. We jump back over here to your leaders. A big move from Kevin Tankos, Jonathan Smith, and Chris Knight as they try to get around Jerry Powers and Ty Robertson. That's going to leave Chris Knighty out to dry on the high side. Right now, we have had 36 lead changes. Coming to 4 to go, actually, not 9. Or we're on 4 to go, actually. And it's since the weather has moved out, it has really started cooling off because you really have the shade coming onto the track. 84 degrees. Barely any wind and only 51% humidity with no clouds. After at the start of the race, we had nothing but clouds. These guys are really starting to race it out. Kevin Tankos was trying to block Jonathan Smith there on that high side. Things starting to really shake up here. They're going to try to catch the draft off the bottom side lap cars. Kevin Tankos, Chris Knighty surging out to a lead on that bottom side. Jonathan Smith is going to have to fall in and get as much of a run as he can. He might just lose the draft in total here. You see back here in the back, you have Terry Hughes Jr., Mickey Sonadero, and Thomas McLaughlin. That really changed out there when they got to the 7 and the 40. Terry Hughes Jr. going to try to push his teammate and his driver. So we jump back up here to the front. These guys really starting to try to fall in line here. All these moves are really starting to be made here as they're coming to 2 or 3 to go here. Chris Knighty with a big push to the 4 car. This guy's still staying single filed out. Jonathan Smith looking for a run if he can get it to go to that high side. As Nicholas Griffey takes it to the high side, he really wanted to go with anyone he could there, but no one jumped out with him. And then you have Thomas McLaughlin back here. And his teammate of Terry Hughes Jr. and Mickey Sonadero, they're all trying to catch these leaders. Jump back up here to the front. These guys are too wide right now. Chris Knighty on a run, takes the lead, but he's all out by himself. Big wreck as the caution flag is out there on the front stretch. Don't know what happened. See if we can't put that in reverse and catch what happened there on the front stretch. As Gage Hunt and Hunter Foley are down here on the inside safer barrier. Let's see what happened. These two running side by side. Gage Hunt tries to get a run there, side drafts him, and it just sucks the 6 car up the track and into him. And it causes the caution. As the leaders were coming to the white flag, Chris Knighty so upset right now. He knew he had it won if they could just get back around the track. But what a lucky run for Terry Hughes Jr. Gage Hunt being in that caution gets Terry Hughes Jr. the lucky dog. If he can get back around the track without running out of fuel, he has a race to run. As Hunter Foley gets towed back to pit lane after crushing that outside wall. As all of your leaders right now trying to save as much fuel as possible. They had just enough to possibly get back to the white flag and get back around. You're right on board with Chris Knighty. He is turning that engine off, trying to save as much fuel as he can. I don't know if he's just trying to save to get back all the way around for this green-white checkered, or if he's trying to save to even get down pit road. As you see it right now, Ty Robertson, Chris Knighty, Jerry Powers. Nope, Ty Robertson, Chris Knighty stay out. Aaron Birch stays out. Jerry Powers, Jonathan Smith, Kevin Tankos, Thomas McLaughlin, Mickey Sonadero, Gage Hunt, Jack Garrity, Nicholas Griffey, Hunter Foley all have it down on pit road right now as Terry Hughes Jr. is getting his lap back and is going to be on the lead lap here when it goes green to possibly win himself another Talladega race and add it to his collection. Jumping back over here to Chris Knighty, Ty Robertson. These guys have to be extremely low on fuel. I don't know why they'd be going to the top of the track here to save fuel. I would be riding that apron as close to the grass as possible. As I say it, Chris Knighty does it. As you see your guys coming off of pit road, it's going to be Kevin Tankos, Mickey Sonadero, Jerry Powers, Jonathan Smith, Thomas McLaughlin, Jack Garrity, Gage Hunt, Nicholas Griffey, and then Terry Hughes Jr. brings it down to pit road. You know he's going to get 4 fresh Goodyear tires and as much fuel as they could stack inside of that Red Bull 81 machine. These guys have had a clean race up to this point. 59 laps of green flag running here. Everybody all spread out other than your leaders. And here we are. Just wondering, does the Triple Deuce and the 9 have the fuel to get back around this track? The 97 as well, if he stays out here. Looks like he's going to have to bring it down. He might be out of fuel. The 7 of Tony Swain's bringing it down as well. He's out of fuel. Hunter Foley still down on pit road with that busted Chevy. So this changes things up as Terry Hughes Jr. rounds out turn 3 and 4 right now to bring it back around on the lead lap behind the teammate of Thomas McLaughlin. Well, he won't be behind his teammate of Thomas McLaughlin because he got the lap back. He will start at the tail end of the field. Now with these guys coming off of pit road, they will file in on the inside behind Terry Hughes Jr. What a race we have on our hands here with a green-white checkered. Chris Knighty elects the high side here with Ty Robertson on the outside behind him. Kevin Tankos in the second place position on the bottom inside. Fresh tires, fresh fuel, ready to go. He's got a full tank. He's ready to win this with Mickey Sonadero on the inside behind him. Jerry Powers on the outside. Thomas McLaughlin on the inside, third row. Jonathan Smith on the outside, fourth row. With lap cars in between Jonathan Smith and Terry Hughes Jr. as they get ready to go green here. It's all off of Chris Knighty. Does he have enough fuel to get it back around? And here we go, boys. Green, white, checkered as the top lane gets a big surge. Everyone on the high side just going around. Kevin Tankos fills the hole. Thomas McLaughlin down there on the bottom trying to push Mickey Sonadero. He jumps up behind Jonathan Smith. Terry Hughes Jr. back there trying to get in traffic. Gee, Terry Hughes Jr. has a big run on that outside line. Here they come, 3 wide down the front stretch into the tri-oval. Terry Hughes Jr. going to take it 4 wide. Kevin Tankos goes low, gets into Mickey Sonadero. Terry Hughes Jr. involved. Everything's clean. White flag is in the air. Thomas McLaughlin fighting hard. He wants this win just as bad as Chris Knighty. Chris Knighty wants it more than anyone else right now. He has 2 guys behind him that absolutely know how to win at this track. They are all bumper to bumper coming into 3. Chris Knighty out of gas on the bottom. Big wreck going into 3. Terry Hughes Jr. takes it wide. Terry Hughes Jr. in the wall, up and over is Jerry Powers. Thomas McLaughlin takes it across the tri-oval through the wreck. Thomas McLaughlin to the checkered flag. What a race! Thomas McLaughlin wins his first ever league race here tonight. Wow, what a finish as Kevin Tankos with some damage gets second. Mickey Sonadero in third. Terry Hughes Jr. with a badly damaged Ford Mustang brings it home in fourth. Ty Robertson just now crossing with an extremely damaged 9 Chevrolet. Jerry Powers getting towed back to pit road. Jonathan Smith with a rough race there at the end as well. Chris Knighty can't even get it back to the checkered flag. He is completely out of fuel. Thomas McLaughlin rounding out turn 3 right now with his teammate Terry Hughes Jr. behind him. You see Thomas McLaughlin has some damage there as well from the wreck. What a finish. Thomas McLaughlin with his first win of the season here at Talladega and his first ever league win in anything. As he's going to burn it down for the fans here. as Jonathan Smith is going to attempt to give him a little kiss on the cheek. There it is. As Thomas McLaughlin brings it to a stop here. Looks like his owner of Terry Hughes Jr. Oh, as Thomas McLaughlin blows the engine here. As the owner of Terry Hughes Jr. pulls up beside him. And they park it here. Let's get your race results up here. Thomas McLaughlin for 811 Racing, your race winner. Kevin Tankos pulling out the second place finish after that trial incident. Going 4 wide with Terry Hughes Jr. on the top. He brought it down. Mickey Sonadero, somehow or another, after the wreck, also getting a P3. Terry Hughes Jr., also involved in both wrecks, brings home a P4 after a couple of weeks of not even bringing home. I think he brought home a P10 twice the past couple of weeks. I don't exactly remember. Ty Robertson with a P5. Jerry Powers, a newcomer to Rush Motorsports here. Did not notice that at the beginning of the race, but he is a Rush Motorsports driver. He is Kevin Tankos and Chris Knighty's third driver. Jonathan Smith from Nap Daddy Racing gets a P7. Chris Knighty out of fuel is the last one on the lead lap in 8th. Jack Garrity brings out a P9. Gage Hunt, after all the hiccups here this afternoon, rounds out your 10th place spot. Aaron Birch, in his first race here on Sunoco Racing League, pulls out his P11. Nicholas Griffey pulls out a P12 once again. Tony Swain pulls out a P13. Hunter Foley, after the wreck that caused us to go into the overtime, rides it out in P14. And Brian Kleeman, after having a rough start to today's race with a blown motor, rounds out the 15th place position. Let's see if I can't get us our points for tonight. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Our standings after the race number 5. Terry Hughes Jr. still holding out the 214 and P1, but Thomas McLaughlin will tie him in P2 with that win there. Jack Garrity moves up a spot to P3. Trent Hughes, with an unfortunate motor incident, will still bring home a P4 with a couple of guys that did not show tonight. Chris Knighty, with a very great race here tonight, moves up 3 positions. Tony Swain will move up 3 positions as well into 6th. Gage Hunt in 7th. Hunter Foley up to 8th. Mickey Sonadero up to 9th. Rob Lodwick up to 10th. Anthony Johnson, not even here tonight, is in 11th. I believe he had engine troubles tonight as well. I'm not 100% sure. Nicholas Griffey, with a P12 finish here tonight, moves him up to P12 in the standings. He is still trying to fight it out to get that 10th place position here in the chase. Well, that does us for us here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. What an absolute race. After a 4-hour rain delay here tonight, or this afternoon, the wait was absolutely worth it. With 60 laps on this super speedway racing, it produced an absolute memorable chapter in the Sunoco Racing League yet again. Congratulations to Thomas McLaughlin. After avoiding both disasters, coming to the white flag, and in turn 3, coming into turn 4, and he made the right moves when it mattered most. Thank you all for joining us here this afternoon at Talladega Superspeedway. And from everyone here at Sunoco Racing League, thank you for watching. Hope to see you next week when we are at our first short track. This is Bounty, and I am signing off. And next time, for some more exciting action, so long from Talladega Superspeedway.